first. Then he seen us making money, you feel me? Big slave, he wanted to go get us on the first. When I first hit him on our day, you feel me? I was doing my thing. He like, yo, bro, let me knock this door, let me pitch. I'm like, bro, you don't know the pitch. I didn't see nothing. He's like, I'm listening to you. I know what you're saying. Let me do it. I'm like, well, just sit back and just take these notes. So I'm pitching, I'm talking. He talking to the lady, he playing with the kids, trying to make sure everything cool. I'm like, yeah, you know, he just still like, all right, bro, y'all know what I'm talking. But he was definitely interacting. He was highly interacting, just taking notes, very alert and just on key. You feel me? Then after that, Brian's first day on his iPad, I'll never forget. It was actually on the weekend, it was Monday, but it was a mandatory. Brian like, yo, but he called me like, yo, bro, I got my pitch. I went over on the weekend. I'm trying to go out. I can't say no. I'm like, all right, come on, we go out. I point to the house. I'm like, bro, that's your ace right there. First door, first on the iPad. I didn't even know I'm supposed to know his pitch. I go to that house. He go to that house. He called me right back. He like, bro, slut. I'm like, what? He said, how I do TPV? I'm like, oh, shit, all right. Breaking the lady down, boom, boom, boom. Got a duel. I'm like, ooh, that girl just turned me up. I'm like, oh, all right. Then he ended up with 4 that day. So the first week he dropped 15. I was just surprised. My first week I did nothing.
0.
15. Oh, all right, bet. I know Brian was really just locked in, and he was definitely, he got the student mentality. He always want to learn. He always asking juice from E, from Brandon, everybody, man. And I definitely see Brian going far in the company, building his team, becoming a great GTL, and just a good person in the Philly office. Just dominating with the numbers, man. No further ado, I'd like to bring up Brian Daniels.
Yeah, Brian.
We just clap it up to ourselves. First off, I definitely just want to thank Vicky. She's not here today, but definitely we all just give it up for clapping in.
Yeah, bitch.
You really helped me. Just by everything that you do, just supplying me with what I need. Always having good energy in the morning, and that really go a long way for people, you know, especially me. It's just impacted me getting here early. I didn't want to be here. My people was making me come here early at first. I didn't really like it. I was like kind of like not in the mindset of the job. But when you get introduced into positivity and surrounded by it, you know, I just want to thank you for that, man. Always give me everything I need. IDs, lost them a bunch of times. So Vicky, definitely, I appreciate you.
Choose.
Next, this guy right here behind the camera, Meech. I definitely appreciate you. We can just clap it up for Meech one time. Meech really impacted me in this job, definitely by simplifying it. When I came here, I was like nervous and scared. Like I'm thinking, like, damn, like sales job, like, you know. And he really simplified the experience of how to do my job. He broke it down. You know, he's a great leader of always, you know, pulling me out of workshops. No, you're not in the workshop today. One-on-one, come here. What's going on? Because one thing that he said to me that really stuck out is Brian got it. Brian got it. You know, first week hit quota, I was hitting 1s and 2s, so I was grinding. So it wasn't like I was automatically thriving. I fought for everything. I would make sure that I was always consistent, and I was grinding. But he said that I got it. He said once you find that little tweak, or once your light bulb turn on for you, you're gonna be really something special in the company. So I definitely just thank him for believing in me and you know, seeing something in me. So we clap that for me. Next, I want to thank the person that brought me into this field, this positivity, this opportunity to make as much money as possible. One of my best friends, knew for a long time. We've just been through a lot together just in life. It's nobody else with the most energy, Beta Betty.
Yeah, Beta.
Coming to this job, you know, or before I even got here, like me just Beta just chilling out on the regular Saturdays and Sundays. He always talked about empire, like it was in my ears. You know, we on the weekend, we chilling at the game, whatever. We like, yo, Brian, bro, look at my, I don't even work there. Look at my pay stubs, you know. I'm like, man, what's empire, bro? I just kept asking, like, what's empire? He's like, you can slide, like, real rap. You can just slide, bro. That's how that works. And for a couple of weeks, I was doubting. I'm like, bro, I'm not working with empire. So before
just
I was working with empire, I was actually going to school, and then I got out of school, situation happened, I had to come home, and had to straight start working. I was in a time where I was down in my life. Just a lot of stuff wasn't going right. School, then I came home, I needed a job. I needed a job. I didn't want a job, I needed a job. So it was like a time I was like going through like, I feel like depression and just going through a lot of emotions. And he picked me up off his feet and said, Brian, come on. And like getting the experience of Empower, they taking advantage. Like we went to the June conference. That was around the time where I started. And I feel like that opened my eyes to see how the company just take care of people. The quality, you know, they picked us up, they fed us. They acknowledge people that actually do good. So this was like a job. I was like, dang, like I always about listening to my leader, Beta, you know, introducing me into the positivity. So I definitely just want to thank you for that, and always pushing me, but not pushing me, but leading me, showing me example, telling me why I gotta come here early, and so I can perfect my craft to the point where I don't have to. You really just showed me step by step how to be successful in this company. So I definitely just want to appreciate you for that, bro. I appreciate you.
Yeah, Beta. Hey.
This person, when I first met him, I kind of didn't get the friendly feeling like I did everybody else. You know, he kind of came with a little bit more stature and just discipline. He's somebody that I definitely think we all could look up to in the company, and somebody who stand on business and know how to have fun too, because he got like a lot of personality. And it's Brandon Watkins.
Yeah, Brandon.
He teach me how to be balanced in this company. You know, work hard, play hard. I feel like that's the mentality that he lives by. He could come in here and shoot our lights out and ball, but you know, when it's time to go work, you know, he the first one. Yo, you got your iPad, you got everything you need. All right, come on, let's work. We working right now. Oh, yo, why you sitting down? Come on, stand up. As an FR, he always encouraged me to be good on discipline and yeah, just good on discipline. Point blank period. So shout out to you, and I appreciate you.
Yeah, Brandon.
Next, I'll just give a couple names on people who also just helped me just as far as competitive, gave me juice. So you hear the name, it's gonna give me juice. You know, competing and just great energy at the job since I've been here so far. So I'm gonna shout out some people going around. I want to say shout out to you, bro. When I first got here, you came here like a big brother to me, bro. You already worked here before. You like, yeah, bro, that's where you gonna get the good eats at. Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna take you for a taco. Yeah, I got you. Come on.
Taco.
I appreciate you, bro. All your juice that you give, you very, you know, big brother like. So shout out to you, bro. I appreciate you. Next, some people, Bumpy. Shout out to my man Bump, man. My God. He turned me up in the field, I ain't gonna lie. I'm with Bump. He giving me energy. He like, yo, be back, come on, we about to go to the corner store, take a little break, But no. This is not like all the time. We just shout out to my guy. He took me up in the field. He gave me energy in and out the field. So Dan, Drift, you another one, competitor, us betting. You made me definitely push me when I was in my second week production on how to just push myself and really compete with somebody. I had fun in the job. I briefly talked about what I was doing. Like I said before, I worked at Empower. I was doing electric power labor. And I was in school, so it was just kind of like, you know, I loved both of that, so it was kind of, I needed something to where I could grow, where I could learn and do good. And when Beta brought me to the job, he knew that I was good at everything that I do, and I took it serious. So when he brought me to the job, I know like he can lead me to success. So that's pretty much it. Now I want to do feedback, questions. Oh no, I'm sorry.
Feedback.
I'm sorry.
You can see where I'm
Sorry. With that to my news, I should have freestyle.
True. That's how you go wrong with blood, buddy.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little break.
Alright, so now I'm gonna just tell y'all my next goal at Empower. My next goal at Empower is to 1.5, which is 30 meters. So that's one thing that I'm being serious about taking this week and these next 2 weeks. I really want 1.5 and just see what that JTL money really about. You feel me? So that's what it's really about. Some tips. So now we're gonna talk about tips and advice that as far as definitely FRs. One thing that I definitely want y'all to know is the 8 habits of a winner. This is something when I came into this job. Once I learned that, I really took it serious. The 8 habits of a winner. I actually got it as my screensaver. Know why you're here and know where you're going. When you know that in this job, you feel like you got purpose and you feel like you know why you're here. You're not wasting no time. So when you come in here, you know, that's number one. Have a great attitude. Great attitude, it's a bunch of positivity around here. It's almost impossible not to, but it can happen. But when you're here, you want to be successful, that's one of the requirements that you gotta have. It's gonna make you feel better anyway. So just have a great attitude. Number 3, be prepared. Being prepared is coming to work on time. You're not rushing, you're not late. Now you already in the swing of things. Just make sure that you got everything that you need for the job. Work your territory correctly. This is important. This is our money, this is our livelihood. You don't want to have no competition with your coworkers, and you also just want to do your job the right way. That's how they say to do it. That's and they making money and they're successful with it. So I suggest you just listen to them. If you got feelings, you can just talk about it afterward. And then in the situation, just listen and work your territory correctly. Safeguard your attitude. This is big. We work in the sales business where we handle rejection all the time. So just really safeguard your attitude. Whether you're feeling down or whether you're really excited, you kind of just want to be like neutral and positive the whole time when you work. So just safeguard it. Don't let nobody take your heart. Don't let nobody take your feelings and your emotions. Really protect your energy because it's sacred. Be on time. That's important. Be on time. Be on time. Be on time. That's self-explanatory. And the last one is always take control of the situation. When you become a JTL, people looking up to you as a leader. So you gotta have more responsibility and take control of different situations. If you see somebody doing something wrong, pull them off to the side. Not necessarily embarrass them, but let them know. And because you know that it's wrong from right, but you got to put in that position of power. So that's everybody. We got some feedback. So feedback and questions I want to ask. Yeah,
all right. What is one thing that you had to really focus in on for you to become a GTL? What's one of the things you had to focus really in on?
All right, so that's a great question. The question you just asked me was what was something that I had to really lock in on and focus on. One thing that I say that was big for me was my mindset. When I first came at Empower, I'm like, I feel like I couldn't. I feel like I couldn't do it. I'm like, get the bill, then I gotta try to sell them, or why I think I should switch them. And I already know how people is and stuff, but okay, they real aggressive and might, just any customer, if you're not coming off seamlessly. But that was one thing, my mindset, just knowing why I'm here, just knowing why I'm here, my mindset on it's not I have to do this, it's I get to do this. It's I get to run up the bag. And that was one thing, once I seen the money, that was I'm gonna be real with y'all. Once I seen the money, I seen Carl, Blister, David, I seen everybody do it. And Dan too, he did it as an FR. I really seen that. And that's what changed my mindset to this job. Like, yo, I can make that shit too. Like, you feel me? And I'm competitive. So I'm like, oh, these niggas making money. Like, all right, let me go get mine. You feel me? These my brothers. I laugh and play with them. Why can't I work and get the bag? So that was really my mindset. Once I seen the money come in, I really locked in and got serious about it. I'm serious about my money. Question, Brandon.
What's the time that you were on the field and you felt like giving up, but what made you continue to keep on going on the field?
On the field. All right. One day, it's in the field. I think it was my second week of production. And so it was something serious, a lot of pressure going on. And one thing that I did, one thing that happened, my iPad wasn't working. My phone died, my iPad wasn't working. And I was trying to do TPV. I had a customer, I just needed 2 more sales, and this sale right here. And I ain't get on board all day. I finally had somebody, and then my iPad never worked, so I'm pissed. Like, I'm about to start breaking down. I'm walked off, tried to do it. I had to do a lot for this, so it wasn't just convince her to go get the bill and do TPV. She called her husband, when that happens, she started rambling on, he started asking me questions. She was a little bit older, but that was a time where I feel like I just was quitting because my iPad didn't work. My phone was dead. I had no resources, so took it back to old school. Just do paper contract. Shout out to Brandon. He came across. He seen me, and he just told me like, yo, like you could do this. I know you're upset. It's not your fault. So just keep going and figure out a way because you need a solution, not a problem. So that was a time where I felt like I couldn't do it, and he uplifted me. So I was able to get her a paper contract and just able to turn it in later and actually figure out a way to use her phone actually. So yeah, so that was the time.
Shows.
Drift.
You said you never did sales before, and like now that you're doing sales, like how did you adapt into that lifestyle?
So this is actually my first legal sales job. I'm gonna say like, no, for real. I always like didn't know me, bumped on me, but like back in high school and stuff like that, just growing up, I always had a hustle though. Like I ain't never had no sales job, but I had a hustle. I'm shoveling snow, I'm cutting grass in the summertime. Back in high school when I was like in the football weights and training, I was training females and I was selling. The snacks was bad at my school, so I started selling. So yeah, so I just, but to answer your question, how did I adapt? I just adapted by just always being a sponge. That's another tip. Just being a sponge and seeing what the winners was doing and copy what the winners was doing. Simple as that. So to me, that's how you win. Any other questions? Feedback? We're gonna pull out Bubby.
Yeah, bro. Why you had to make it seem like I should be taking you to the corner store, bro?
No, bro. I just had
Did you know
that you good energy, bro. That's why I was saying. Let it go.
Not going to the corner store.
Did you notice your sales increasing when you stopped going with bumps? Go to store? Did you notice it increasing, baby? You get a little bit more focus.
Yeah, that is true.
All right, God.
I can definitely say my focus and myself definitely increased when I separate myself from everybody. You know, everybody. They separated me. Everybody. From everybody, not just from bump, but yeah, sales increased when I separated myself and just focused on my sales. So we can just bring it in on that. I just want to thank y'all, everybody.
Close out, man.